All right, so this is the third lesson on percentage. Actually, percentage is sometime like there confusion in students on this topic. So therefore, I spent some time in order to explain all these different types of questions and in order to explain you all the concepts related to percentage, so that then you can apply on different examples or questions. So you can see here percentage are almost certainly going to come up in your exam, but they could crop up in lots of different topics, right? So these are some more topics where you can apply percentage concept. So let's talk about simple interest. So simple interest mean that, let's say there is a person that is a bank, there's a bank, and let's say he invests like $380 or pounds in that bank, and this bank in return give 3% interest. 3% interest, so interest is 3%. So this is an example, okay? So like interest, like for example a person invests in a company, and then that company is giving like 25% profit, right? So you can find out like how much would be the profit in 1 year, how much would be the profit in 4 years or 5 years. Similarly, if a person invests money in a bank and the bank in return is giving interest 3%, 4%, so it vary. You can find out like how much profit he can make in 4 years, in 5 years, right? So these are also percentage questions. You can see interest is given in percentage form, 3%, that is the percentage, right? So now let's find out how much interest will she earn, she or he, how much interest she will earn in 4 years. So this is the percentage. So first of all pause the video and think on this question, try to solve it, and then see and then come to the video and see the solution. All right, so let me explain you here. $380, 3% interest per year. Let me mention this, per year. And we want to find out how much interest will she earn in 4 years. This is the question. So let's take 3% of 380. I explained you, this was the first concept if you remember. If a number is given and you want to find the 3% of that, how you will do? You will write down that amount, 380 times 3%. And then I explain you that in place of this percent, you need to divide 1 by 100. So 180 times 3 by 100. Simple. So what you are doing here, you want to take 3% of 180. So let's calculate this. 380 380 times 3, you got 1140 divided by 100. So the answer is 11.4 pounds, 11.4 dollars. Now this will be the interest which he is earning in 1 year, right? But the question is to find the interest in 4 years. So this is in 1 year. This is 1 year interest, right? Because we have taken that value and have taken 3%, because the interest is 3% is per year. The interest is 3% per year. So this 11.4 is the interest per year. So let me write it here. This is the interest per year. What I did, I just taken 3% of that amount, which is $380, right? So this is in dollars. If that amount is will be in pounds, so this the answer you will get will also be in pounds. Now let's find out how much interest will she earn in 4 years. So for that, you just need to multiply this interest by 4. So it will be in 4 years, right? You have interest per year. If you want to find out for 4 years, so just multiply with 4, because this is simple interest. So it will become $11.4 times 4. So let's calculate this. 11.4 times 4, that is 45.6. So she will earn $45.6. That is the amount of interest which she will earn if she invests $380 for 4 years. If she keeps 400 and $380 in a bank for 4 years, she will earn $45.6 extra. That would be the profit. All right. So this is how you can apply percentage concept here. Now let's see the same question here. Actually, I have taken the question from here. That is, Regina, okay, invest 380 pound. By the way, I have taken $380 here. It's pound, does not matter, right? So 380 pounds in an account for which pays 3% simple interest each year. How much interest will she earn in 4 years? So you need to take 3% of 380, the amount. So 3% of that is 11.4, which we also calculated. And then you will multiply 11.4 with 4. So in order to find out the amount for the amount of interest or profit for 4 years. Okay, so the new concept is now working with percentage. This is a new type of thing, and this is a bit complicated, working with percentage. Sometimes there isn't a set method. So probably you have learned about like 7 to 8 different concepts, 7 to 8 different methods where you can apply all those concepts on different places in a question in order to solve it. But sometimes there isn't a set method you can follow to answer the percentage question. There are probably be some question which be a different one, which you might be thinking that you haven't studied this. But if you, so what you will do, you have to use what you have learned. What you have learned, like 7 to 8 or 9 concepts which I explain you, which you can use in different places. You need to use all those places, all those concepts in different places on the last couple of pages, and do a bit of thinking yourself. Okay, so you will see the question, you will use the concepts and do a bit thinking by yourself. So here are a few examples which are a bit different, related questions. So let's assume, let me zoom out a bit. So let's assume there are, this is a gym. Okay, so I will call this gym. It has, question is given, 80% of members of the gym are male. So this is a gym, and 80% of members, 80% are males, 20% are females, right? But it is not mentioned like in the question, and you know that if 80% are males, obviously 20% in that gym are females. It is not mentioned, but we are just talking about males, so it's okay. But let me write that. 20%. So let me write that on a different color, which we don't need that. Okay, we don't need this. 20% are female. Females. So now let's read the next sentence. 35% of the male members, I'm reading the second line here. 35% of the male members are aged 40 and over. So out of these 80%, 80% mean that, for example, total number of gym people are not given, right? Like how many, or what are the total number of people in that gym? If that is given, the question will become really easy then, right? If that is given, you just take 80% of that. For example, let me tell you that there are 320 people. Let's assume this is not given, by the way, but I'm making you think in that way as well. Let's say 320 people are given in this gym. So you can easily find out males. You can easily find out how many males are there, how many females are there. How? You just take 80% of this. So 320 times 80%. Very simple concept. The first concept, if you remember, 320 times 80 divided by 100. Solve it, you will get the number of male members. If you want to find out females, so 320 times 20%, and 20% means 320 times 20 divided by 100. So you can find. But since 320 this is not given, so I will remove this, and now let's look at this question. This is gym. Now out of these 80% are males, so obviously it will be like a specific number. Let's say 200 or 220, 300, probably anything not given. Out of these males, 35% of people aged 40 and above. 35% are aged 40 and above. What percentage of gym member are males under 40? So we need to find out percentage of males under 40. Under 40, right? So 35% of those males are aged above 40. The age of them is above 40 years, and some we need to find this question. So if 35% are age 40 and above, so obviously 65% will be 65% will be the percentage of males under 40, right? So you know that total percent 100, 35% are age 40 and above, so it means 65% are males under 40. So 65% are, but now the issue is how to calculate 65%, because you see there are, we don't know males, how many males we have here, how many males are there in that gym, that is not given. But we need to give the answer in percentage, remember that. Okay, we need to find in percentage of males under 40. So now let's work on that. So actually we will take 65% of 80%. That would be a new concept for you, that 65% of 80%. This is a new thing, right? You want to find out 65%, 65% which we want to find, that is the percentage of males under 40 which we want to find. But actually we want to calculate that 65% out of 80%, because you need to calculate among males only, you don't need to include these females here. So therefore 65% of 80%. Now how to calculate them? So that is actually, that would be, you need to multiply them together. If that is, so it will be like 65% is 65 divided by 100. Actually, I want to remove that percent sign. Multiply 80%. So I have just kept percent here and I have removed percent from there. So you will keep percent with one number and remove percent from another. So this will be 0.65 times 80. Multiply them together and you will get the answer. Let me show you here. 52% is, by the way, answer. So this was the question. 80% of the male members of a gym are males. 35% members are aged 40 and over. What percentage of gym member are males under 40? So you know, if that is 35% are male members are aged 40 and above, so obviously 65, 100 minus 35 is 30, 65% are below age 40, and then you will take 65% of 80% and you will get 52. By the way, it's written here, very interesting point. It is just like finding x percent of y. Like if you want to find out 15% of 200, so it is the same way, but this time y is a percentage too. Both x and y are a percentage, but it's okay. You will remove percentage from here, so you can see it's 0.65. In order to remove percentage, you divide that by 100, so 0.65 times 80%, multiply them together, so 52%. This is the answer. All right, so let's continue with the next example. That is the side length x of a cube is increased by 10%. What is the percentage increase in the volume of that cube? So this is also a new type of question which we haven't discussed before. So let's do that. So actually, you know that what is a cube? Let me draw the cube here. So I will draw a rough diagram. This is a cube where all the sides are equal. This side is x, that side is x, that side is x. You can see the side length is x, so all the sides are equal because this is a cube. So it means, and probably you may have studied this in geometry, um, that the volume of this cube is actually x cube, x power 3, right? We just multiply all those three sides, so that is the volume. So this is one thing. So this is equation number one. This is the volume. We'll come back to this equation. Why? Because the question has connected the side length. If you increase this side length by 10%, so what will be the effect on volume? Because the question is asking what is the percentage increase in the volume of cube, right? So 10% increase is happening over here in x, 10% increase. So let me write here that in this side, and obviously in all the three sides, okay, not just in one side, 10% increase. And this is increase question, increase or decrease, the second concept of when we started this percentage. So I explain you. First we will calculate 10% increase. What does 10% increase mean? So 10% increase mean 1 plus 10 divided by 100, right? So 1 plus 0.1, add them together, so 1.1. 1.1 is that thing, the 10% increase. And now if you want to find out how much will be the increase in that side, so you just need to multiply 1.1 with the x. Since this side is not given in this case, so 1.1 times x. So let's calculate it here. So that would be 1.1 x. So this is the increase, this is the percentage increase, 10% increase in x. Now this is in the sides, okay, that is 10% increase in the side, but we want to find out what would be the effect on volume. So you just need to put this thing in place of x there in that formula in order to find out volume. So volume is equal to 1.1 x to the power 3. And when you solve it, right, when you solve it 1.x, that would be what that would be 1.331 x power 3. So that is the volume which we calculated. But this is not the answer. Why? Because what the question is asking, let's see. The question asked to find out what is the percentage increase in volume. The question is not asking what would be the percentage after when the side is 10%, when the side has increased by 10%. No. The question is asking what is percentage increase in the volume. So we just need to find out the increase in the volume, right? So that is the volume. So now see, we want to find out increase in volume that is equal to 1.1 1.331 x power 3. That is the new volume minus the original volume. The original volume was x power 3. Original volume is x power 3. That is the new volume. So we will find out the difference. The difference, right? So now if you remember, if you solve subtract them, so it would be 0.331 x power 3. That is the change in volume, or I can say change in volume. Now let's use the formula. Percentage increase, that is equal to change divided by original multiply by 100. So that is the change, and original is x power 3, right, and multiply by 100. So let's put the values in there. So change percentage increase is equal to change is 0.331 x cube. What is the original? Original is x cube times 100. So x cube and x cube will cancel out, and it would be like 0.331 times 100. So let's multiply them. 0.331 times 100, and that is 33.1% increase. So the answer is 33.1% increase. That is the answer. So this was a bit complicated question, but when you understand this, see what I did at the start of this topic. I explain you this formula as well. Percentage increase. We used it here. We used it here, right? And I have explained you this concept as well. 10% increase. This was another new concept which I explained you there. We used it here. So this is how you learn the concepts and use it in different question. We use two concepts here combinedly in this question. So this is how it works. All right, so question number one, hopefully you can do that very easily. These two questions are your homework. These are the last two questions. You solve them and then share it with us on WhatsApp. All right, I will check them and then I will send you back. I will send you the feedback, and also I will attach some more questions related to percentage. Solve them all and then send me. Try to do maximum practice for mathematics, and you know mathematics is all about practicing question, solve maximum questions and use all these concepts in different places, and then you will have a command on percentage. So this was very interesting and very useful topic which we have completed. The new topic is then compound and growth decay, which we will start in the next lesson. Okay, for now, take care. Bye.